So as you're walking to school one day, you pass a construction site for a new building and stop to watch. A crane is lifting a batch of bricks to the upper floor. A brick falls off a rising pallet. I guess that means its initial vertical velocity, not 0. Okay. You clock the time it takes for the brick to hit the ground at 2.5 seconds. So I'm going to make a little note here. T fall is 2.5. The crane has height markings, and you see that the brick fell off the pallet at a height of 22 meters above the ground. I've just made a mistake because the brick is going to end up below from where we started. I do know in free fall, you wonder how fast the brick was going when it hit the ground. What does this want you to find? VF. I have not given you any equation that has a VF and the... Oh, but wait a minute. What could I find? I definitely have... I have time. I definitely have an equation that's got a VI. And then once I have VI, I can go VF equals VI plus AT. That's why I've given you one fewer equation this year, because that other one really was redundant. It was a shortcut more than anything. Is that enough, Deegan, for you to take it the rest of the... Now, which equation are you going to use here? It's going to be, I'll scroll up a little bit right here. It's going to be D equals VIT plus 0.5 AT squared. I made the 1/2 of 0.5 because I already figured I'm going to be rewriting this, and I probably don't want a fraction inside of a fraction. What are we trying to get by itself? The VI. I think I'm going to minus the... Ooh, how would I get the VI by itself in this bad boy? And? Yep, that's VI. And then once you have VI, find VF. Is that okay? I would argue, aside from the wordiness of it, which I'm not a fan of, the physics there is fair game. I gave you 3 things. You can find all 5. You might not be able to get the 4th one that you want right away. Find the 5th one, and then go back and use that, find the 4th one. Someone asked number 10? No, maybe. Didn't you ask me number 10 yesterday? Owen, were you the one that talked to me? Okay, somebody else talked to me then. Okay. Any others from here you want me to do? By the way, number 10, of course, all of you converted that to meters per second. Who remembers there was a shortcut for going from kilometers per hour to meters per second? It was... Sorry? What about a 3.6? Divide or times? Divide. You can add that to your blue sheet if you want, but this year you can't add that to your yellow sheet. But I'll also say I'm pretty sure on a test this year, I'll just always give you the correct units. We did unit conversion last year. I'm not going to retest you on that. But in the homework, once in a while, I'll, just to jog your memory, make you do a little unit conversion. So 306 divided by 3.6. 85 meters per second. And then I'll let you think about the rest of it. Since does anybody want me to do number 10 that they tried it and couldn't get it? Then could you please get out last day where we left off? Lesson 6. And we got to example 9. So we said our key ideas. When you're launched through the air, what's your horizontal acceleration exactly as a number? 0. What's your vertical acceleration? On the Earth, -9.8. we introduced the idea of a t-table, and again, the biggest challenge is going to be, don't put a vertical number into a horizontal equation. Don't put a horizontal value into a vertical equation. In fact, I'll tell you what the biggest challenge is. Kids, when they get to this, they so want to go, they so want to put the negative 9.8 right there because it creeps them out that there's no acceleration. There is an acceleration. It's 0. There is one. It's 0 as a number, which makes the math much, much nicer. I then also said to you, we're going to look at 3 situations. We're going to be looking at launched horizontally from a cliff. That's the easiest one. And the reason that's the easiest one is your initial vertical velocity is 0. And anytime values are zeros, the math gets easier. The second type is from the ground at an angle. Did I say angle? Mm-hmm. Okay. So example 9, I like example 9, I like example 9, I like example 9. Example 9 is the next question. It says solve for the time to top, the total flight time, and the range. On a test, I might just ask for part C and expect you to clue in you needed to walk through the other steps. Looks like we're launching at 100 meters per second at an angle, did I say angle, of 35 degrees. Did I say angle? I'm going to break this up into components. And so one of the things I want you to realize, Alicia, is you're never going to use the slanty one in your actual physics work. You're going to get rid of it by components and never come back to it. So let's do the components up here. Let's see. I can break this up into Vx, Vy initial. How come I put an initial on the Vy, but I didn't bother putting an initial on the Vx? Yeah? Vx is not 0. Vx is constant because Ax is 0. Yeah. Okay. That one, oh, color. That 100, opposite adjacent to hypotenuse. Vx, Vy initial, opposite. Okay. Let's find Vx first. I don't know, just for giggles. Which trig function? Is it? A and A? Yeah, cosine. 35 equals Vx over 100. So Vx equals. Now, I'm going to be, first of all, this question did not say find the components. That's not one of my answers. I'm going to be using this. So I'm going to carry some extra sig figs. I'm going to go right to the 2. I'm going to go 81.9152. Because I'm going to use this to find answers, I don't want to round off too soon. Which trig function is Vy? I think sine. I think I can, in fact, just backspace and edit. 57.3576. I'll go 57.3576. Is that are any of those final answers what they were asking me to find? That's why I got sloppy, didn't even bother putting units on. I'm just using that. Okay. I wrote down here, hint, t-table. Horizontal, vertical. What are the 2 physics no-brainers that I can write without even reading the question? What's AX? What's AY? I can write those down every time. Unless I'm on the moon or something, but I think I'm going to give you, on the test at least, you'll always be on the Earth. I can't remember. I might have put you on the moon in one question in the homework. There, it's not negative 9.8, it's negative 1.6, but otherwise the same physics. What else do I know? Oh, well, vertically, definitely Vy initial equals 57.357, and definitely positive because up, yes. Horizontally, Vx equals 81.9152. That's two things and two things. I need three things to find the fourth, so there must be something else that I know. I can't see anything else in the diagram, so now let's go to the actual question. What's part A want me to find? Time to the... Okay, what else do I know? You had your hand up.
I was going to say we have the initial. We do have the initial.
Yeah. So, what else do I know? Did you hear? At the top, you know what? I'm going to put, instead of Vy final, because there's a bunch of finals, I'm going to call it Vy top, just so I don't get it mixed up. Because when we hit the ground, Vy final is not 0, and that's one of my big pet peeves. I yelled at you all last year. Hey, which column do I know three things in? Because I asked you to. Which column do I know three things in? Why? Because I asked you to. Which column do I know three things in? Why? Because I asked you to. Come on, you missed that joke. The vertical column, how am I going to solve time? Vertically. So now, over here, I'll do a little part A, and I'll go, okay, t equals question mark. On a test, I'd probably, just to be really paranoid, quickly relist everything, so let's do that. In your homework, you have it here, but I'm going to make a little note. Okay, I can use AY as negative 9.8, Vy initial is 57.3576, Vy, now I'll call it final, is 0. Looking for an equation that's got a T and A, a V initial and a V final in it. There is one. Of course, you all have your formula sheets out by now. Or you've memorized these, but... Which one? Oh, you even got the T by itself? Well, thank you. T equals Vf minus Vi over A. It's going to be 0 minus 57.3576 all over negative 9.8. Oh, I have the 57.3576 still on my calculator, so I'm going to go, first of all, is this a fraction? More than one thing on the top, brackets around the top. I'm going to go bracket 0 minus, answer button, divided by, close bracket, divided by negative 9.8. 9.8, Mr. Do It. And I get a time to the top of 5.85. And since this is one of the answers they wanted me to find, now I'll report my final answer to 3 sig figs with units and draw a little box around it because I'm proud. What does B want me to find? Isn't that 5.85? Oh, so? Okay, I have two options to find total flight time. T total can be T top times 2, and I'll do that this time because I have the total time to the time to top sitting on my calculator. Oh, that only works if you're starting on the ground and ending on the ground, if it's symmetrical. That won't work if you're launched from a cliff because the halves are not symmetrical. You can't find time to top and just double it, which is why cliff at an angle is the most difficult question. If I hadn't done part A already, or I could let Vy final be negative 57.3576 because what goes up must come, and I can use that to find time. And I would do that if, honestly, if they just asked me part C and I knew I wanted to find the total time of flight, I would say I'm not going to waste my time finding halfway there. I'll go find all the way there. But for now, I think I'm going to go times 2, 11.7 seconds. Cool. Annika, what's part C you want me to find? Range, is that horizontal or vertical? In fact, we said yesterday, range was a synonym, another word for dx. So I know ax equals 0. I know vx equals 81.9152. That's only 2 things. I need 3 things to find the fourth, so I guess I can't do this. Which time? Total time. Not the first one. This. Total time, because total time is the whole trip. If I use the first one, I've only found how far it went halfway. So I'm going to use time total, which is 11.7 seconds. Looking for an equation that's got a D, an A, a V, and a T in it. There is one. What about plus a half a t? Why don't, doesn't the 9.8 go there? So it's just going to be 81.9152 times 11.7. 81.9152 times, actually, I'm just going to go with my answer button since it's sitting on my calculator. And I get 959 meters. Almost a kilometer. Okay. So horizontally from a cliff is the easiest because Vy initial is 0. Ground at an angle, did I say angle? Well, Vy initial isn't 0. You got to kind of, there's all sorts of other stuff I could ask as well, but we're just kind of getting started here. So for now, you can certainly now do number 2. Number 3 is a little thought puzzle. 4 is good. 5 is good. 6 is good. And then 7, 8, 9, 10, you need to practice these. And from the ultimate review, you can now do those questions there. Did you miss? Sorry, did I miss? You good? Okay. Looks like you were kind of confused there. So from the ultimate review, you can do those questions there. Tomorrow, Monday, we'll look at cliffs at an angle. Right now, I'm thinking your test is going to be towards the end of next week, beginning of the week after. Okay? Is there... Oh, hang on. I got to check my calendar. Give me 1 second. We got...